What's up, everybody? Peace and blessings. This is Al Williams, and this is the Willpower Podcast, where we talk about challenges that we have and how to overcome them. Today, I want to start off this podcast by telling you guys why exactly I started my Willpower brand. Um, so, when I started my brand, originally I was thinking my dad has Alzheimer's, and his brain is being affected in ways that we don't understand. You have strokes, you have things like that, and it's really hard to get a grip on it once you like get to a certain point. Then you kind of just ride it out, the dementia part of it. So what I'm trying to do right now is myself personally get over that challenge. And when I have guests on my show, I'm going to have ask them what is their challenge, what is their greatest challenge at this point in time, and what are they doing to overcome it. So with that being said, this is the first episode of Willpower, and my greatest challenge right now is Alzheimer's, dementia. Rest in peace, Pop. This the episode is dedicated to you. My dad had a stroke in Texas when my mom had him with her a few years ago, and my mom knew something was off. She took him to the doctor. Come to find out, he had a piece of a white speck on his brain. My dad was maybe he was like 70 at the time. I want to say no, he was yeah 70, and ever since then, he had been going to therapy and things like that, but he still had a decline. When I got in from the Navy and I went to go see him at home, finally I got to spend time with him. We had a small conversation, and I broke down because I knew that he wasn't the same dad I knew from years ago when we were growing up. The crazy thing is that his mother had dementia, and a few other family members in Texas, shout out to Texas, have the same thing going on in our brains. So everybody's like scrambling, trying to figure out, how to avoid this. What I ended up doing was going vegan. I went straight vegan. I was like, okay, let's eliminate everything and try and start from the bottom. When I started from the bottom, I tried a bunch of different vegan options. They were all just all tasty and oh, it looks like a hamburger. So yeah, come to find out, I wasn't really doing myself justice and probably working against myself because most of those foods are, we call it processed foods. And those processed foods, you can get vegan or not. So you're not doing yourself any favors by eating those processed foods. You want to eat natural foods. You really want to grow from the ground. You want to grow from the earth yourself. Once I learned that, I kind of said, okay, well, I'm killing myself right now, not eating chicken because I'm losing my muscle mass, working out a lot, and not having the protein that I really need. Beans is cool and everything, but like you got to eat a lot of beans. I mean, do what you want to do, but for me personally, everybody has their own approach to health. Everybody's different. You can check your blood type, I believe, and your blood type will tell you what your diet could be or should be. So, long story short, when I changed over, I went from just straight veganism to chicken and fish. So, I what they call it pescatarian, and that was working out for me. It helped. However, then next the thing was, how do I get this to work in my favor because I'm still eating like everybody else? So then I said, okay, salts, sugars, that's the next target. We're gonna try to get these salts and sugars. I'm eating, I'm drinking, I'm juicing and things like that. When I started juicing, I would have celery and I would have cucumber, and I juice celery and cucumber, the most hydrating, you know, vegetables, fruits you can have. So I did that, and I started feeling a lot better. However, the next thing was, okay, how am I going to eat when I go out? How am I going to still fit in this society? And it didn't really matter at the time, who cares? But then as a real estate agent, I go out to dinners, I do things with people. And so I just kind of started being mindful of how I eat because me, I'll eat a lot. Like if you give me a full plate, I'm going to finish the plate. That's how I am. I don't know what's wrong with me. I will kill the whole plate and then go back for seconds. Or maybe I eat too fast or something. So it's like being mindful of how I'm eating is what's really helping me out. Next, I'm thinking exercise. How and what how am I going to be able to exercise? Because I can't go to the gym. I don't go to the gym. I'm too busy. And even if I wasn't, I don't like going to the gyms. Everybody's different. So what I ended up doing was finding my own method of exercising. Because at least as long as you stay active, you will stay active. If that makes sense, a body in motion stays in motion. So once I got to that point where I got all these, little small things put together, figuring out what do I need to eat, how do I need to work out, what do I need to do. That point finally came where I thought to myself, you know what, I could still get dementia. I could still get it. So the next thing you have to do is put your mind in a place, or the next thing I try to do is put my mind in the proper space, because if you are whatever you fear, you will become, or whatever you fear will come at you. Whatever you put your focus on will come at you. So as far as that, energy, whatever you put your energy into will come back to you. And that's the way the universe works. My mother told me, and I had another kind lady at one of my meetings tell me the same thing. So with that being said, I figured, okay, next, let's connect with other people that might have the same fear. Maybe we could share some commonalities, some similarities, and see if maybe that would be a way to kind of get the upper hand. And that's what I'm doing now. I don't personally know anyone with Alzheimer's dementia right now uh, that's around my age. And so but I do know people that are worried about it. I know people that are a little bit intimidated by the thought of it possibly occurring in their life. And I don't really want those people, I don't want the negativity, I don't want the negative side of connecting with them. I want a more positive side. Leave a comment below if you have this feeling, or you have dementia or Alzheimer's in your family. Leave a comment below, DM me, let's talk about it. That challenge right there began Willpower. And so I did the vegan thing on Willpower. I did the what do you call it? Trying to connect with people. And then I finally came to just motivation, inspiration, not giving up. If you feel like you have a disease or cancer or whatever, that feeling that you have it is just as bad as actually having it. Don't give up. You got to keep going, keep your mind positive, stay in a positive mindset. And that's what I'm trying to do. Leave a comment below if you agree. Leave a comment below if you disagree. DM me if you have any ideas, or you've been doing anything different to try and overcome or cheat this possible fate that so many of us have. I really don't want to see myself in that state of mind, so I won't. And that's how we do. We're starting off this first episode talking about keeping our mind focused on the prize, our eyes on the prize, because if you give up that thought of possibly coming out on top at the end, then you're possibly giving up that reality. My name is Al Williams. This is the Willpower Podcast. I do real estate. I do podcasting now. I have my own brand, and there's many other things I do. Let's connect. Let's talk about it. I want to connect with my entrepreneurs. I want to connect with my like-minded people. If you have any questions or you have any comments, please do contact me. Let's talk about it. Love.